Producing melodic techno is all about energy, rich harmonies, and emotions. And today you're going to learn 5 lessons to get your tracks to the next level. We're breaking down how you can produce those catchy vocal synths, that big saw leads, the huge low end, and also the perfect drum set. My name is Lilo Reddy from Abstract Music Lab, and now let's dive right in. Let's start with the gated vocals, and they sound really nice, especially in this part over here. If you want to listen to this in solo, without sidechain. But what are they doing here in the MIDI? First, we have the vocal number 2, which is the main melody of this vocal. It's a real vocal and it's the core of the sound because it's doing not only the melody, but it has that vocal female sound that sounds really nice in the song. And then we layer this with vocal number 1. Which is just a sine wave with a bit of texture, a bit of white noise, just to give a bit of that kind of sound. Listen to it. You can see how it adds some which is really nice to add texture. It makes it a little bit richer and it sounds really cool. And then we add vocal number 3, which is another vocal, but now a male vocal. And what are we doing with all these 3 vocals? We're doing first, this is going to be the main melody, the main vocal. We have the texture, and then we also have the harmonies, because if you listen to everything without these 2, listen to how it sounds like. It sounds nice, but it sounds a bit thin, doesn't it? It just sounds a lot better this way. And why it sounds a lot better this way? Because not only we're making all the layers a bit wider, as you can see here in the effects, we're using this stereo control, using a bit of reverb, and this is something that we're using across all channels. So you can see this also over here. We're also making it a bit wider, making the vocal number 1 go a little bit left and right to create a bit of movement. And also in the first one, again, mainly focusing this one in the center, a little bit less stereo than the other ones, but again, creating a little bit of movement to make it go left and right. But what about the MIDI? If you look in the MIDI, and if you look at all 3 layers, what are we doing here? It sounds like we're playing here a chord of D, right? But why this harmonizes really well? Because if you join with the bass, now we're playing not only a chord of D, but we're playing here a chord of B flat instead of a chord of D. The song is in D minor, but this is a chord of D flat. And if you join this one all the way down to the bottom, you can see how this harmonizes across the bass line as well. And why does this sound nicer? Because we're adding more richness into this sound. Not only richness in the MIDI by making it play other harmonies, but if you also look into the rhythm of it, you can see that the gate normally follows a pattern. As you can see, it has some longer and shorter notes to create a bit of a different pattern and not be all the time. But you can see how they not only play the same thing. For example, here we play a long note where we don't play anything here. Here we play a long note where we play 2 short notes at this point. And this happens over here as well. We play a long note here and a short note there. A long here, short there. But why are we doing this? To create rhythmic richness into the song. So to sum it up, this top layer here is the main melody. We have the second one here, which is going to be the vocal 3, which is harmonizing everything. And we have the foundation. And it just sounds a lot better with it. But how can you use this? Especially after the main drop where you have a big fat lead, you're going to put this in the second half to create a different harmony, to create a different bridge into the end of the song, which is something that many artists are doing in melodic techno right now. Next, we have the main synth, one of the most important elements in melodic techno. It's a simple sawtooth, but it has a lot of work into details as well. Let's get started with the sound design, for example, and let's listen to it in solo. What do we have here? It's a simple saw wave. Simple as it is, just a plucky envelope over here, but you can see that the envelope has a bit of body in here to keep the bit of the body of the sound. And if we had something really sharp over here, which is not what we want something with a bit more body. Important to create that kind of shimmery sound is the noise. And you can see how this makes a lot of difference. Now, we also have a bit of modulation here in LFO1 and LFO2. They're both modulating the fine over here. What are they doing pretty much? They're just making the sound a bit more unstable. If you listen, just so it doesn't sound the same all the time. And that's what we're doing here with LFO1 and 2. LFO1 being a little bit slower, LFO2 being a little bit faster. So we have two kinds of modulations as well. Now, in the effects, we also have something here attached to the mod wheel. As you can see, the cutoff is attached to the mod wheel. So we can play around with this. We can start with this in the breakdown. And make it grow a little bit. But this is really important here, to give a bit more edge in the sound, and the reverb. You can see how the reverb gives a lot of space into it. And this is a reverb that is going directly in the preset and sounding really good. Now we have also the ducking. Really intense, but really short at the same time. Why are we doing this? We're doing to create a bit of pumping in the sound, because without it, listen. See how it pumps along with the song, and that's what we want with the reverb. Even though it's a high-end element, it doesn't have that much low-end into it. We also have to sidechain it to get a bit more pump out of this sound. In addition to that, we also have a little bit of a push here. And just to show, for example, with the mod wheel, this is just something that you can play around, especially in the breakdown. You can modulate this a little bit. Now, looking into the MIDI, one thing that is really cool, this is in D minor, and we're playing here mainly D as the foundation. And then we're just doing, for example, as you can see here, D third, D second, D seventh. Something really similar to the melody that we've just seen in the vocal. But pay attention to the pattern here. We have block A, then we have block B, then this repeats A again, and this goes into C. So A, B, A, C. But then in the second half, we have A, B, A, D, which is a variation of the C. Pay attention now to where we're playing everything. We're not playing everything on the grid. So imagine this is a kick. This is how long the kick is. We have position number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have a bunch of notes that are going to play here in position number 2, 3, and 4. As you can see here, 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 this one also, this one, this one. Why are we doing this? To create a bit of rhythm, because if we don't have this, it can be a bit robotic. Just to give an example. Even if you don't have this one, you can see how when we have these notes off tempo a little bit, it creates a bit of swing, it creates a bit of groove, and it makes the sound a lot better to listen to. So don't feel afraid to use variations here, and using here the tone, the third, the fifth, the second, the seventh as well. And you can use other notes within the scale, whatever feels best to you, merging melody, swing with a nice sound design to get a really powerful lead. Now let's talk about the drums. They don't have to be super complicated in melodic techno. What matters the most is the classic placement with strong sounds, so they have enough power to cut through the mix. For example, the kick needs to be something super solid, and you can even add a little bit of clipping into it to make it a bit more saturated and adds a bit more punch into it. Combine it with some hats. Those 16th hats add a lot of swing into it, as you can see it. And you can also add another hat, just giving a bit more energy in the offbeat. And then just a super powerful snare. And that's what mostly is important about the song. Just so you can listen to the whole song without this. You can see how it already works really well. You add the snare, the hats to add movement and energy. And if you want, you can even add another hat, just an open hat, to even add more energy. An open hat or a ride will give a bit more energy into your song, and that's something that you could do in your songs to make them a bit more energetic as well. And that's about it. You don't have to overcrowd your drums. They can be super simple. What matters the most is the classic elements with enough power to cut through the mix. That's what you have to focus on. The bass line is a big part of melodic techno. It has a lot of energy, especially if you're using a rolling energy as this song, or if you're also using a plucky, as many melodic techno songs have as well. But even though they aren't super complicated, there are a lot of details that you have to pay attention to. For example, if you listen to the main rolling bass over here, let's take away the sidechain just so you can listen to it. And this is the MIDI. It starts without playing anything. It just plays a rolling bass over and over and over, and you can see that it just plays the foundation of D, and then it goes into a melody, as you can see it over there. So why are we playing a melody? We're playing a melody to get rid of the D that constantly plays over time, because if we constantly play D over time, it can get repetitive. By playing a melody in the bass, it helps create that melodic feel in melodic techno. Now, listening to it, you can also see that we're not playing the first note over here, the rolling bass. Listen to how it would sound with it. With sidechain. Now listen to the kick. Can you see how the bass gets a bit on top of the kick? That's why we're doing this without this over here. We're already creating a bit of space within the kick and the bass, and this is something that's going to be really helpful, especially in the mixing and mastering phase, to open up space and not crowd your mix. But also the sound design, at the same time that it's super simple, it's really important. We're not doing something so complicated in the sound design. It's just an icon has kick. That's a really versatile wavetable that you can use here in Serum. And we're playing this as a pluck. As you can see, it's a really simple pluck that opens according to this cutoff. It doesn't have much processing over here, even though it has a little bit of this. Why are we pushing this, and why are we making it simple at the same time? We're pushing this to bring a bit more of the harmonics into the sound, but at the same time we don't want as much character, because a rolling bass with a lot of character can get really repetitive really quickly. So in addition to that, we're also making it, if you listen to everything, let's take all the effects away. Taming it a little bit, making it a bit wider, but at the same time that we make it wider, we're taming a bit of the width. And then just giving a bit of power, especially here in this region, because this is the region where you actually listen to. And to finish everything, the ducking, just to match everything and open a bit of space for the kick, so the kick doesn't clash with the bass line. Now in addition, we also have that sustain layer here, which is a combination of a drone bass, but it's not super wide. Has the same sort of side chaining as well. And the reason why it's not super wide, even though it has unison over here, in here we can see that we're taking the width of the unison all the way down to 0. 100. 0. Why? Again, we don't want to make that bass super complicated, because melodic techno, even though the bass is super important in terms of energy, it's not about the bass line, especially if we already have a super powerful bass line, which is already rolling. So what are we doing with this sawtooth? We're just supporting the bass line. This adds depth and a bit of character without changing the rolling bass rhythm. Without it, subtle depth and character, preserving the rhythm in the background as well. But again, don't forget the sidechain. This one is more of a mid layer, so we can sidechain a little bit less, but we need to sidechain everything, because otherwise it would just clash a lot with the kick. Without the main bass line, we lose the power. Without this one, let's duck all this. And that's it for the bass line. The last lesson is about background elements. They're not the focus of the song, but at the same time, they're really important. They're not the elements that you're gonna miss, but they're elements that if they're not there, you're gonna miss. In this track, we have a bunch of them. For example, we have a piano here. We have some pad saws, mainly in the low end, and we have the pad cello. We also have the vocal, which we've just talked about. This is also being considered a background element at this point. And you can even add something else, for example, a real pad. What are they doing over there in the background? They're not doing the main thing, but they're doing the background as it says. Their job is to add space, movement, and just to keep the song not repetitive, because if it was the same lead over and over and over and over, it would get repetitive over time quickly. So how can we do this? Again, a piano sounds really nice. This is adding the depth in the low end, and at the same time you have these elements over here adding a bit of emotion. Of something a bit more human. Listen to how this variation would sound without them. When we go to the new 8-bar, it's just the exact same thing. Other than the melody changes, it's exactly the same thing. So to make this more interesting, we add everything. If you want to play everything together, you can see how the vocal is a bit too loud at the moment, but you can see how they all complementing, they're all doing their own part in the song. The vocal is going to be a main element in the song afterwards, but the background elements are complementing the lead and enhancing the emotion of the song so the lead can shine through. The bass is making the foundation of the song and giving that power and energy in the song, which is complementing by the simple percussions that we have and a really strong kick that we have. So this is pretty much it. If you want to go a little bit deeper into this track, you can grab the Eclipse sound pack that is available over here in the description below. The soundtrack includes a ton of samples, presets, educational Ableton project files like this one, so you can get started and learn a lot more about melodic techno. This is Lilo ready from Abstract Music Lab signing off. Ciao!